Is marijuana still illegal in Wyoming in 2026? This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Well, I guess let's first answer that question. Is marijuana still illegal in Wyoming?
Yes, it absolutely is still illegal in Wyoming. And if you're caught with marijuana, you can be in hot water.
So what kind of hot water are you in exactly when you're caught?
Well, a misdemeanor carries up to a 1-year jail sentence and a $750 fine. Now, you don't see a lot of people doing 1 year in jail for a misdemeanor marijuana possession, but the point is Wyoming still has it as a crime, and that meaning you can do jail time. So it is not decriminalized.
So if you get a misdemeanor charge, it's jail time, but it can be a worse charge, a felony charge as well, right?
Right. So if you have more than 3 ounces of marijuana, remembering 8 ounces is a pound. So if you have more than 3 ounces, that is a felony possession.
Okay, so then what happens if it's felony possession?
Well, if it's a felony possession, you get all of the headache of a felony conviction. So that conviction, you lose your right to vote, you lose your right to have a gun, you lose the right to hold a public office, and you have to go and get fingerprinted. Now you're in this database where it's nationwide, and you have a record.
Okay, so does all of this apply the same way to people that are maybe visiting Wyoming?
Right. So most of our clients are people that are out of state and they come through Wyoming. They come from a place where it is legal. You don't need a medical license, or you're able to possess marijuana for recreational purposes. And whether or not they have a medical license or not, it's still illegal in Wyoming. So most of our clients come from out of state.
All right, so you're talking about people coming in from other states. Well, how does Wyoming compare to the neighboring states?
Sure, to the north and the south of us, that is Montana and Colorado, it's 100% legal as long as, you have personal use amounts. But it's legal for recreational purposes. Obviously, you don't need a medical license. Now, if you look to the west and the east of us, we're talking about Utah and South Dakota. Again, you can possess marijuana in those states, but you do have to have the medical exception for that. And then there's Idaho, which is a neighbor to the west of us, and it's completely illegal in Idaho as well.
So with Wyoming being, one of the few states in that area that actually has it completely illegal, why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, I think our legislators have, hindsight's 20/20, and so I think they're looking at what's happened to some of the surrounding states when they do legalize marijuana, and coincidentally or not, those other states start to see some socioeconomic effects when they've legalized marijuana. So they see the problems that have came after the fact in some of the states that have legalized it. And so our legislators are just not willing yet to change the law.
Okay, well, I'm sure that many people watching this video probably are interested in legalizing marijuana in Wyoming, and how might someone go about doing that?
Sure. So, there's the good old-fashioned just vote for your representatives that, replace the representatives who currently don't believe that it should be legal. Or you can do what Colorado and South Dakota did, and you can put it on the ballot. Now, there's a few hoops you have to jump through, and Wyoming's tried to do it in the past, but we didn't, cross our T's and dot our I's, and so it wasn't technically done correctly, and it wasn't put on the ballot. So we can go door to door. People can go door to door and try to get enough signatures on a petition to put it on the ballot. That's just the short answer.
Okay, well, it sounds like there is room for people to try some things if they want to get going on that. But in the meantime, you are a criminal defense attorney, and should somebody end up in hot water because it's still illegal, how do they get in touch with you?
Sure, we'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.